Okay. I think I have everything set up now. I was setting it up while I was going, but I was like, you know what? I'll start the stream a couple seconds early. Huh. No, I don't have everything set up. Shoot. Be right back. Okay. I filled my glass of water to the brim here. Mmm. Water. It keeps you hydrated. They really, really do. Okay. I was trying to make sure that volume was set right, because I noticed in my stream last time the volume was pretty low for the game, which is fine. This game doesn't have a lot of noise. Let's see if I can remember how to do Julia again, right? That's always fun for me. That is always fun. Trying to remember. She's very deadpan. I am Julia. Okay, yeah. I finally reached Big Beat Burger, hoping to recuperate from all the mental damage accumulated over the past few days. It's gonna take me a little bit to get back in the swing of Julia. Sorry, Julia. Usually when I don't stream and I'm just doing this recording for YouTube, I will practice for a good 20 minutes reading the same thing over and over. But we're streaming, so I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Oh, shoot, I forgot one more important detail of streaming. I have my water, I have my mic, I have my headset, I have my game, but I forgot to get my big cushy chair pillow because I'm in a really shit chair, so I'm gonna be right back and grab that. So give me one more minute. Sorry about that, guys. So that unplugging and replugging in of something, if you stuck around. Honestly, I should probably timestamp when I actually start this stream for real. This to be basically unplugging my wireless headset so I could walk away. If you were curious, I would have been curious. Just thought I'd let you know. Only to find out. Okay, wait. Let's get back into this. It was kind of fun. Let's go. Only to find out the doors are locked and nobody is inside. No, no, no. I need to be soothed. I need my routine. You've absolutely got to be kidding me. Closed. What the fuck do you mean closed? I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Everything's closed. Pandemic? What pandemic? You live under a fucking rock? It's a new SARS virus straight from China. The whole world is going crazy over it. People are dying left and right. Holy shit. I didn't know something like this could still happen in this day and age. Somehow it always felt like we were beyond it. Well, I guess it's lucky I'm dead. I walk away to avoid bringing more attention to myself. Now I understand why NYC feels downright apocalyptic tonight. It's like it's like a psychedelic experience to see these familiar streets empty and abandoned. I should just run my mouse into the words. It helps me read. I'm one of those people. I have to put my bookmark under the word. Well, let's see what parts of the city are still alive in the middle of a plague. Okay, so we have two choices. An aristocratic taste. All this malaise spreading through the boroughs is putting me in a weird mood. Seems like I can't outrun it, so maybe I'll intensify it instead. Smallpox hospital, here I come. Or a familiar smile. It took just 2 days for the city to go all the last man on Earth. I probably won't have a better chance to soak in the atmosphere. So I kind of want to go to the smallpox hospital. It sounds really weird. We're going. Okay. I entertained the thought of sneaking through a hospital to see how things appeared up close, but it looked like an actual war zone, so I decided against it. I don't know what I expected with this way healthcare reforms have been going in the state. Fewer facilities in poor areas, fewer beds, less funding. We're just reaping what they've sown. That's why I used to honestly consider going back to the old country. An American friend was like, "Why would you go back to that shithole?" He was shocked to learn we have normal, free healthcare. Anyway, if an active hospital won't do, this one might. The smallpox hospital on Roosevelt Island, built to quarantine the poor and unloved victims of pandemics away from normal citizens' eyes. And there's my cat using the cat box. I'm gonna mute. Okay, they finished. Yep, that's right. This is why I don't like streaming. I'm not in a good environment to stream. I'm not, because you're always using the box. Okay. All right. Yeah. In spite of its disrepair, or maybe partly because of it, my cat wants to sit on me. Partly because of it, the architecture still manages to perfectly convey the building's painful history. There are ghosts here, but they are mostly the good, metaphorical kind, not the kind I usually see. Looks like there also might be a lone physical being here. I hear someone sneaking through the ruins. That's that for my peace and quiet. Oh, I know, you want to play too. You want to play too. Yeah, I know. But you can't. You don't have fingers to click the mouse. I guess you could click it with your paw. But you can't read it. Just meowing. No one could understand. No, they wouldn't be able to. She likes to talk. I have a very chatty cat. But oh well. I needed to satiate my thirst anyway. How do I approach that person? I am going to coddle her for a second. Give me a moment. Alright. She has decided she doesn't want to be coddled, and me daring to try to readjust her to be more comfortable in my lap instead of in my face was a slight upon her person that she could not tolerate. So she had reprimanded me and wandered off. I'm gonna approach through the shadows. I guess I could say hi. You know what? Let's say hi first. I move closer to intercept them. I wait behind a corner for a moment, and there's Skype now! No! Ha! I move closer to intercept them. I wait behind a corner for a moment. Then I emerge when I hear this. Sorry. The cat, the Skype, the Discord, like everyone's like, "Oh, she's streaming." Because I've been playing Outriders with my friends, and when I don't answer on Discord, I get Skype calls because you know who uses Skype anywhere. But yeah, so Outriders is a thing I've been playing. It's okay. Well, I'll talk about it later. Let's focus on this. I move closer to intercept them. I wait behind a corner for a moment, and then I emerge when I hear their steps nearby. Hi. Ah! That was my panic voice. In her panic, she drops something on the floor. It breaks into 1,000 little pieces. God! Don't scare me like that! I'm sorry? Look what you made me do! She kneels to pick up the pieces of some ugly glass sculpture. The shape is familiar. Was that a Scrooge McDuck figurine? Yes, it was. A Carl Barks design. They stopped making these decades ago. You don't even know how long it took me to find it. I was really looking forward to decorating my haven with this. A Scrooge McDuck. It's pop art, okay? Haven, of course. Now I realize what I couldn't put into words. It was the feeling she might be kindred. She seems airheaded and eccentric, but I wouldn't want to pick a fight with her. Call it a hunch. I apologize. My name is Julia. I'm a Lasombra representative for this city. Some representative you are. Absolutely horrible first impression. Somehow, we've never met before. You live here? I prefer keeping to myself these nights. More time for hobbies if you hide in secluded places like this. What's your name? Just call me Princess. Huh. Princess. My true name is for friends only, and after destroying my treasure, I count you a sworn enemy. When you least expect it, I will find you, and I will trap you in a reality of eternal pain. I should complain to the court at least, honestly. Tell Helene to start looking for a replacement. So sorry it won't cut it, huh? Quater would surely be thrilled to see Prince Helene assign me with a mission of looking for a rare Scrooge McDuck statue. It just says it's reading. I never thought in my life in a vampire game I'd be reading a line like that. Looking for a rare Scrooge McDuck statue. But I prefer to avoid that fate, even if it doesn't seem very likely. How could I make it up to you? Should I, search for a replacement online, or... Whatever. I'm not going to lie to you. I prefer not to stay mad for long. It's exhausting. It's a threat to your beauty, both inner and outward. So yeah, I think I'm going to ask you for a small favor then. We'll be square, and I won't have to worry about becoming ugly. Sound good? What favor? See, I'm super into low art these days. That's why I collect stuff like Scrooge McDuck lamps. I used to be a hardcore into high art before, studied the harmonic structure of Bach's cantatas, taught myself Arabic just to weep over Middle Eastern poetry, read a lot of Joyce and Adorno, etc. Eventually, these hobbies got boring, as all things do, so I'm switching it up now. Comic books, heavy rock music, modern Hollywood movies, stuff made for small children, basically. The problem is, I think I'm still not low enough. There's still too much mastery of the form, too much restraint, too much respectability, too much tastefulness. I want to feel the rush of gazing into the soul of someone willing to admit to truly degenerate desires and obsessions. So I want the lowest kind of art you can find. Just sweep me off my feet and we'll be good. Not the kind of request I expected, but how low is too low? There's no such thing as too low. Huh? Okay. Back when I was alive, I refused advances from a guy who lived just outside of Astoria. He definitely still owns some incredibly low art. What exactly should I get her? A video game, an anime DVD, a fantasy book. Well, of course, we already know what the lowest of the low of arts are. Get her an anime DVD. Okay. I will be back in a jiffy. It takes me just over an hour to get there. Wake him in the middle of the night. mess with his head a little, and get back with an appropriately low work of art. So, I've got something. Don't be shy. What is it? I pass her a DVD box with a busty hand-drawn girl licking a giant katana. According to the description he printed for me, this thing is named... I'm gonna fuck this up so bad. Ririsu no Daiboken. There you go. The cover says Lilith's Carnival. Yeah, no idea why the name is written like that. Anyway, this 90s original video animation presents us with a tale of 5 big-bosom samurai warriors traveling through America in search of General Hastavista, the Incubus King. Don't let all the titillation misguide you. The main draws here are peerless direction, a nearly avant-garde editing rhythm, and dialogue that coyly comments on traditional gender roles in anime. Once you see the animation in the final battle, you'll understand why it never fails to set a Sakuga fan's heart ablaze. What am I reading? Note, Sakuga, unaccountable in Japanese animation, anime, a sequence of noticeably higher quality used to highlight a particularly important scene. We're gonna read what's in the quotes, because I imagine Julia is saying that. So yeah, it sure does sound like low art. Eyes down, I await her response. This is great. It is. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm looking at, but I can feel that it's utterly degenerate and naked in its intentions. Just what I needed. Believe me, I've had more than enough of art trying to dazzle or win me over or be used as a stepping stone in someone's illustrious career. I just want someone to be like, screw it. I don't want to impress anyone. I don't want to get anywhere. I just want to vomit out my soul for all the freaks like me to see. I think in its own way, that might be the ultimate form of art. So, is my debt paid? I suppose. So, can I know your name now? Let me think. No. She turns away and disappears into the night. Well, that was an interesting distraction from all the malaise in this city. I suppose it's time to go back to the miserable business I've been saddled with. The time comes for me to meet up with Quater, and hopefully, D'Angelo too. The last position on my list. This better be good. And that is D'Angelo's agency. Looks like a dump. Perfect for the clan of the hidden. I thought he wasn't hidden. I thought he was missing, and to be honest, I kind of expected the worst. Why would we look for him in the most obvious place? I've been asking around and I've got a hunch. Just trust it and start looking. Fine. Who is D'Angelo anyway? He's a good man, a useful man, but it took me time to get used to him. He likes sleuthing he takes sleuthing very, very seriously. Take a sip. Let's see. His thing is acting like an idiosyncratic noir detective. I heard it helps him cope with something, but I've never felt comfortable tackling the subject. Doesn't sound too quirky by this city's standards. Wait, what is that? There's a rat on the floor, frozen in an unnatural position. Weird shit. Examine it. Despite my disgust, I picked the rodent up. Now that's what being an investigator is all about. Leave no stone unturned. Shut up. This is so gross. What have you found out? I take a close, hard look at the rat. It's alive, but from what I see, he's just stretching out and like grinding his teeth without a care in the world. That's called bruxing. What? When a rat chatters its teeth, that's bruxing. He's not acting panicked or aggressive, so I guess he's just happy. I look at its face. I don't know. His eyes keep coming out of the sockets and going back in. It looks disgusting. Like he's in a lot of pain. So he's boggling. He must be really content. What is going on? Why does Quater know so much about rats? Okay. How does he know so much about? Never mind. I'm getting an eerie feeling. This is weird, man. I have a feeling there's a kindred hiding nearby. Weird. My thoughts exactly. Quater slowly approaches a secluded corner of the room. And there it is. He kicks a pile of clothes lying on the floor.
I'm just a corpse. Leave me alone.
There you go. That's my voice. Lucky for you, we're all corpses here. D'Angelo, you're among friends. Sorry about that. Clumsily, drunkenly, the pile of clothes transforms into an unkempt man who looks like he's suffering from some sort of skin disease.
You know, a true friend would just bury me.
And lucky for you, we're not that kind of friends.
Lucky, unlucky, schmucky my ass. How did you guess I was here? See, I've been...
Oh, wrong person. See, Quater needs a cough drop. See, I've been asking around for the past few days. What I've learned is that for reasons that can be best described... 1 second. Goodness. People in my house make so much noise. Okay. I've learned is that for reasons that can be best described as nebulous, you've made quite a few enemies since last year.
Yeah, tell me something I don't know.
And one thing that caught my interest was how everyone has it on good authority that your place was raided a few times without you being found, yet nobody has assumed responsibility for these acts.
Hell, doesn't this den always look like it was just raided? Can't blame anyone for making an educated assumption.
I had a hunch these might be more than rumors. See, it sure looks like a convenient coincidence when everyone hears something that makes them look the other way. And coincidences are for fools.
Well, you've got my number. You can see my ugly mug right in front of you, so it's no use playing dumb, I suppose.
Agreed. You've seriously spent all these weeks holed up in here? Is the hunger not getting to you?
You've got a lot of critters around this area, and we've become chums. Some of these rats actually got addicted to the kiss. They come to me every night acting like cokehounds begging for it.
One moment. Sorry about that. People keep losing the Roku remote in my house, and I am, I guess, the Roku whisperer. I always find it. People are just lazy and they don't look everywhere they could. That's honestly my honest opinion on it. So they get me to do it. Okay.
Been getting him drunk just to get some rush out of feeding on him.
What's that voice?
Feels a bit like slathering a horribly burned piece of pizza in ketchup. But in this situation, I'll take what I can get. You dig?
It's so gross. I fail to keep my poker face. He notices.
So who's the dame?
Julia Sawinski, a detective investigating Baron Callahan's death. He raises a hand for a short while to stare into Quater's eyes and treat him with a vulgar snicker.
Hooey! Somebody has finally put the old man on ice. Whoever did it did the world a huge favor.
Absolutely, but I got orders to establish who that was, and I've been stumbling in the dark for the past few days. We need your help.
I'll be damned. Your sleuth skills must really not be up to par if you're begging a bum for help.
It's an unusual case. That's what I just said. It's an unusual case.
How so?
It's extremely political.
Hooey. I asked how is it unusual?
It feels like the game was rigged against me from the start. Like I'm just bumbling around and achieving nothing while everyone laughs behind my back.
Jeez, you sound hopeless, kiddo. Haven't you ever read a Chandler book? That's how it always is. Just do your best, endure the embarrassment, and hope that you stumble on the answer by accident.
He accidentally lets a metal flask in his hand slip out and fall to the floor, and then struggles to pick it up. Quater can't bear to watch. God, what happened to you, Gianni? I've never seen you this low before.
Stress-related disorders causing a disruption in my routine. It's what I think a shrink would say. Happens when a lot of shady folks are out to put a stake through your chest.
Help us out. Tell us what you know, and we might be able to help you in return.
Yeah, respect where it's due, miss, but I think it's going to be the other way around. I ain't telling the two of you shit, pardon my French, until I know I can count on some protection.
Gianni.
Don't you Gianni me, Quater Alice Mai. I know your level, but I also know your honor is one of the few things you care about. You want me to endanger myself? You put it on the line for me. And that's that. You either promise to extend your protection to me, or the moment you step away from here, I sneak away into the sewers, and that's the last time you'll ever see me.
Quater shoots me a wary, sideways glance. I know. He drives a hard bargain. Especially for someone whose sense of self-worth does not exactly appear to be sky high at the moment.
Maybe, but I do value my own life quite a lot. Thank you very much, friends.
Quater sighs. Alright, but 3 months from now, or the moment Prince Panhard tells me it's no longer possible for the court to offer you safety without compromising its principles, you're on your own. No negotiations. That's the only deal I can strike with you. Take it or leave it. D'Angelo scratches his head, grunts loudly, tugs on his mask, and stands up.
That's Jake with me, big fella. I might have strong opinions about Panhard, but hell, I'm sitting on dynamite. I'll take what I can get.
Who else in New York would you rather rely on? You want me to call the mayor?
My opinions about the prince aren't that bad, so what do you good folks want from me?
Who wants you dead?
Starting with the interrogation with a tricky one. When I like to know.
Step up, Gianni. You seem to be forgetting how quid pro quo works. Wouldn't I like to know won't cut it.
What can I tell you? That warlock Agathan, or whatever his name is, presumed dead. Tamika MIA, with SI on her back, so possibly KIA by now. Hope the kook, hidden in her office under Vanderweiden's skirt. Around the time they started having trouble, some rough-looking streetwise kindred started hanging out at my usual spots. Didn't take me long to connect the dots.
Wait, what is the connection between you and those three?
Ever since last year, folks started hiring us for various gigs. Some even trying to get us to join their coteries. All of these opportunities were rather short-lived. However, the delicate tightrope of act of working for various employers made us fully aware there's an intra-sect alliance in NYC. Kindred from both sides often work for the same goals without knowing it. The moment we started figuring it all out, a cleanup crew went downtown. Another serious warlock boy sniffed something out in his own backyard, and then poof, he disappeared. Then I lost all contact with Hope and Tamika and went AWOL. Hope they're doing fine, and they didn't snitch on me to anybody.
They are. And they didn't even tell me you guys knew each other. So I think you're safe.
Ah. Wait a second, why were you milking them for intel, kiddo?
I found a list of 4 names on Callahan's remains. You can probably guess what they were.
Get the picture, yeah? Christ almighty.
I've heard it was just a list of freelancers, potential associates, probably prepared by Carter Vanderweyden.
My money is on him being involved, but I smell bullshit. Have you got any idea who might have done the boss in? Any more clues?
Not at all. That's where we want you to come in, friend. Investigate the murder scene the way only you know how. Tell us what you think. Guide Julia in the proper direction. D'Angelo sizes me up, scratching his head.
Sure, whatever. I will try my best, kiddo. Lead the way.
I'll drive you there. Or at least as close as possible. I wouldn't be welcome that deep in Anarch territory. Just clean yourself up a bit, Gianni. I just had my upholstery cleaned earlier this week. After dropping us off at the same place Catherine first introduced me to Mia, Quater quickly drives away. Here we are.
Swell. A classic closed room mystery. Let me take a look.
He starts walking around the office, carefully taking in every element.
So you're saying you're basically a nobody, but you can simply call Catherine Weiss and have her open sesame? An R&R crib for you? Dunno. Sure sounds like somebody to me.
Don't misunderstand. I only met her during the course of this investigation. Everyone's basically been treating me like dirt wherever I go, and I'm only acknowledged enough to legitimize this sham.
Lord Castlereagh.
Castlereagh? I don't know what that is. Now that was an abrupt interruption. I was busy sharing, damn it. Excuse me. He's pointing at the painting of the man overseeing this entire office.
I met Murder on the way. He had a mask like Castlereagh. Very smooth he looked yet grim. 7 bloodhounds followed him.
He seems to have completely switched his modus operandi upon seeing the murder scene. He's in his own little world, and his behavior has become more machine-like, erratic. I, still don't follow.
I never knew the old Irish coot was into the Napoleonic era. But then again, I've no idea his exact age. Of course. So maybe that's when he lived, or was born. Anywho.
Pay minimal attention to me. Alright, who am I looking at here?
Right. That's one Lord Castlereagh, born as Robert Stewart, a British Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs at the beginning of the 18th century. Incredibly influential, incredibly hated. Ask one fellow about Castlereagh and he'll tell you. He was the man who destroyed Napoleon for good. The man who shaped British politics for ages. The man who built foundations for European unity at Vienna. Ask another fellow, and he'll tell you. He was the man who destroyed the Irish Parliament. The man who cracked down on any possibility of reform, and then supported the cavalry massacring peaceful protesters.
He's spouting these facts like a computer. Is that the hint of a detective's photographic memory?
I have to say, it's downright perverted for an Irishman to put up Castlereagh's portrait in his office. Definite proof that our victim was sick in the head. As if we needed more evidence there. Probably idolized him, too. Maybe identified with him. Even, yeah, that's possible. Callahan and his ilk adore those jackoffs who strive to reach across the aisle and achieve hard compromises. Too bad nobody else ever remembers them well.
I feel like I should say something. I've got this nagging feeling in the back of my mind. How did he die?
Committed suicide in the 1820s. His family took every sharp item away from him, but he was, well, dedicated.
Why did he do it?
Pressures mounting from all sides, deserved hate coming from all sides, plain old overwork. Also might have gone nuts. Kept saying he saw ghosts, otherworldly silhouettes were guiding him, yada yada.
An unpleasant feeling grows in my stomach.
Also, there's a rumor someone was threatening to expose him as a homosexual. Having to choose between being publicly denounced and ending it all by his own hand. He chose the latter.
Well, that's just depressing.
Maybe. But the silver lining is, it couldn't have happened to a nicer fella.
He stops above Callahan's corpse and laughs.
Posterity will ne'er survey a nobler grave than this. Here lie the bones of Castlereagh. Stop, traveler, and piss.
And he kicks his bones with glee, causing me to jump a little. Is he still under the influence? Isn't that tampering with the crime scene?
Kiddo, as far as I can see, the crime scene has been fucked with 3 times over. Can't really be ruined more than it already has.
I agree, but it looked about the same the last time I was here.
Then it was already a total mess before you ever got here. Whatever.
Standing by the metal shutters on the windows, he abruptly changes the topic.
Light proof. Have you toyed with these?
No. In general, I avoid machinery like that. It doesn't like me, and I don't like it.
They don't like you.
They don't work properly. It's like I give technology an allergy. Sometimes industrial cameras mess up my face. Sometimes I can't use a phone. You think it could be useful, but it's just a curse.
I see. You think these blinds could have been the murder weapon?
Yeah, I did entertain the possibility.
Would make sense, wouldn't it? Let's say, for some reason, our stiff was standing there as the sun was rising. Maybe staring at poor old Castlereagh, looking for a soulmate to accompany him to the other side. Yet another guy pushed the suicide by politics. Pretty old school romantic, yada yada. Or maybe it was torpor. Or maybe it was a freak accident. Or maybe it was premeditated. In any case, sunlight would be the perfect murder weapon. No?
He takes off the mask to shoot a disfigured smile my way.
Well, that's just a theory. Anyway.
Well, it sounds sound.
Does it? 'Cause I was just spitballing. It's practically impossible to make certain now, kiddo. The most logical cause of final death would be damage to the heart, and that can easily be done without damage to the skeleton.
And he sets off with a wink. What is he playing at here?
The safe. Anyone made a crack at it yet?
As far as I know, only Callahan knew the code, and the safe itself is pretty hard to crack.
Watch me, kiddo.
He presses an ear to the safe and slowly begins to rotate the dial. Stop clowning around. You're a safe cracker now.
When you're cursed with continence such as mine, and you decide on a job such as mine, you gotta be a jack of all trades.
Yeah, but still, sounds pretty hard.
Last year, there was a random feller visiting a heritage museum in Alberta. They found a safe that hasn't been opened in 40 years. Not a single specialist nor even a blacksmith could have handled it. The man just studied the numbering, listened closely to the mechanism, attempted the most sensible combinations, and voila! The unthinkable happened. That's where just trusting instincts leads you. Too bad he found nothing inside but an old bay sheet.
Metallic screech. The doors open. 1 second. People just, when I stream, it's like, I swear, the moment I try to record or stream anything, everyone else in the world's like, now's the time to talk to Malicious Corpse. Now's the time. Okay, let's repeat that. Okay. A metallic screech. The doors open. I'll be damned.
And it looks like we've got the same case here. Confetti. A few random papers scattered around. But for what it's worth, the lock has obvious traces of mechanical manipulation. Probably recent too. Reeks of foul play. But what do we know for sure, really? I'm done here. You can take over.
Another wink. Another walk in a random direction. I look inside the safe. Quite spacious. I haphazardly grab everything that's left inside the safe and hide it on my person, then close the door so that nobody knows he managed to crack it. When I turn around, he's motioning me to come closer to a sheet of paper lying on the desk.
So yeah, kiddo. You probably know the entire beeswax about Schrodinger's cat, so I'm not gonna bore you with that, but honestly, anything could have happened here.
I read the text he's written on the empty page.
This place is wired.
It gives me chills. I think I'm okay. I've tried to record my own voice a bunch of times on different hardware just to see if I can. It mostly comes out as noise. He nods, then starts scribbling something else as he continues blabbering on and on.
The best strategy would be to make an educated guess about what happened here, then interrogate everyone about it. Maybe you'll take someone by surprise, drop a hook on them. The wiretap is a chip in the broken glass bottle on the floor. Absolutely sure it belongs to Kaiser.
Kaiser, the elusive information broker, the talk of the city, finally got an excuse to nab him. I understand. I think I have an idea how to use it to find him. Should I notify Quater? Scribble, scribble, takes longer than before.
So yeah, I'll be meeting up with Quater. You stay here, sister. Maybe there's something you've been missing. You're called, doll. You're gone beyond his jurisdiction, so he will try to stop you. Whatever you do, just give me a 10-minute heads up, so I can get to a relative's safety.
For sure.
It's back into the sheriff's custody for me. See you around, Julia. Sorry this old codger couldn't have been more help.
Whatever whatever I got was plenty. See you around, D'Angelo. I've got a plan. Now all I need to execute it as a clueless bystander. This guy will do. Do you, need me for something else? Not really. Better take a hike before the guy you've just called shows up. I can't guarantee he won't make you hurt. Will do. He puts his head down and obediently trots away down the street. I might have messed with his head a little too much using my wily kindred charms, but I needed him to tell Kaiser where I want to meet, quite clearly, multiple times. I would have given him the kiss as thanks at least, but I told the big man I won't be here all night, and that he'd better hurry up, so I want to be ready whenever he comes. Less than 15 minutes later, a menacing black limo takes a fast, sharp turn onto my street and stops right in front of me. Suddenly, something like an acid flashback hits me. I know this limo. I've seen it all around the past few days, but never thought it might be tailing me. Still, it must have. Looks like I'm finally about to get some answers. And with that, I'm going to stop the stream now. I know it's kind of shorter. I'm going to stream again tomorrow, but I'm kind of just got a lot of stuff going on in real life behind me. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I keep getting called to help. So I think right now was just a bad time for me to stream. I thought it was good time, but it wasn't. We got some more information, more stuff done, but tomorrow for sure I will be streaming again to, have the confrontation with Kaiser here. I don't think Kaiser killed Callahan though. So we'll have to see what happens. As always, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you like this type of content. I play games, not regularly because I'm really bad at keeping a schedule. Depression is a bitch. I really like vampires. I like voice acting. I like all that stuff. If you liked this video in particular, please give it a like. Please comment if you enjoyed it, or if you want me to play a different type of game, give me some suggestions. I'm always looking forward to them. Thank you again, and as always, let me do the thing. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna get my voice ready because doing D'Angelo kind of hurt my voice. That's probably why I also want to take a break. Okay. Maggots love you. See, I can't. Can't do it. Take a sip and try again.
Maggots love you, but not as much as I do. Love, your malicious corpse.
There you go. Have a good one.